questions for players and then coach after. Coach, when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm really proud of our young ladies. I thought they competed their hearts out. I thought they played at a really high level against one of the best teams in the country. It felt like that was our game, but you have to give Maryland credit too because they never gave up and it's got us sped up and we made a number of mistakes and didn't stretch traps and didn't look up and foul that's on top of it and based on the bounds missed an opportunity, missed an assignment, but certainly a lot of good to build upon and certainly, we as coaches and myself, I need to do a better job of putting our kids in situations where at the end of the game we finish that out because I thought that was one that we put ourselves in really good positions until down the stretch.
Thanks, Coach. We'll get into questions for Grace and Briley.
I mean, Grace, a game like this where it goes into double overtime, you're playing that many minutes straight. I mean, what was Maryland kind of doing in those crucial situations that did speed you guys up on the inbounds or getting the ball across?
Yeah, I think like she said, again, they sped us up in ways where whether it was the press or just the pressure they were bringing, again, they never gave up and they were on us the entire game. So those things definitely sped us up. And we got to go back and work on just slowing down and playing within ourselves.
And I mean, first half defense was just kind of impeccable. Second half, it seemed like Maryland got going a little bit. Just to either of you, what was working so well in the first half that maybe changed into the second?
I think during the first half, we really just kind of had an edge about us and we were helping each other. We weren't letting them get second chance opportunities. We were boxing out, we were rebounding. And I think going into the second half, we said like we wanted to maintain some of those things, but I just think we could have done a better job taking away those second chance points, just continuing to rebound. So I feel like maybe we didn't do such a good job of that in the second half, and that's what kind of hurt us.
For either player, what's the mood like in the locker room after the game, and how do you guys take positives out of this and put the rest of it, chuck it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a tough loss. A lot of people would call that heartbreaker, to double overtime. But I think I'm proud of, like she said, I'm proud of how we fought. And I'm proud of, Maryland's a really good team. They're ranked 7th in the country, and I think we fought as hard as we could, and obviously we wish some certain situations went our way a little bit better, but we're ready to learn and grow from it. So.
Yeah, what do you take away from that as the conference opener for you guys for the season, and to play that well and hold up the team, make it so difficult for them to win? What do you take away from that going forward with the rest of the Big Ten play?
Like G said, I think we did a lot of great things, so a lot to learn from. I think what we just take away is just helping each other, being there for each other, supporting each other, being in those gaps. I think that's what really got us going. What they say, good defense leads to good offense. We were running in transition, getting the ball up the floor, getting easy opportunities, and I feel like just keeping on building on taking care of the ball in those crucial moments, I think is going to help us a lot in the long run. But yeah, for the first conference game, I am really proud of us, especially how we played in the first half. Wish we could have maintained it a little better, but still, there are a lot of good things from that game for sure.
And the crowd did a really good job helping us. I think a goal of ours is to keep the barn packed like it was tonight, so I think that also helped us, and we want to get it back and win for them.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
We'll get into questions for Coach.
Coach, kind of same question for you. I mean, first half defense was superb. Second half, it just seemed like Maryland was getting out in transition a little bit more. What did you kind of see that Maryland was doing to kind of open their offense back up?
Well, I think they got really intentional about kind of just trying to get it right around the rim in a couple of different ways, and some post ISOs and some drive opportunities. And so I think they they kind of opened the floor up a little bit more in the first half and shot a couple more arc shots, and then the second half became really intentional about getting the ball to the rim, and and we know that that's their strength of theirs, and so but we didn't do it as good of a job of limiting those opportunities.
And you mentioned just kind of the pride you have in this team, but in moments like this, like what can you learn about a group of players that maybe can turn this into a positive and more of that spark for the rest of the season?
Well, this group has been an amazing group in terms of learning and growing and developing, and we're going to continue to do that. So I believe that they'll respond at a high level and learn, and we'll put them in situations to work on the areas that we were not as good at, and get them to understand that we have confidence and trust in them, and I think that they're going to grow and continue to get better.
Tori, kind of goes down maybe a little banged up in the third quarter, it looked like. Fourth quarter and overtime's just playing completely, kind of the complete cover to cover. I mean, what can you say about just kind of her drive, and made a couple really big plays for you guys as well?
Yeah, she certainly did, and she's someone who we rely on both ends of the court, and someone who kind of establishes our defense in a lot of ways, and someone who, we just have I think a tremendous amount of confidence and trust in, and I think she demonstrated exactly why today.
Any more questions for Coach?
It really felt in that second overtime that the Gophers could play a third if they had to. I just felt like their energy was really strong, and really felt like they were outplaying the Terrapins, just from my opinion. Do you do anything in particular with conditioning to prepare for these long overtimes and long stretches that keeps their endurance up like that?
Well, I think that from the postseason, really, and through the summer and into the preseason, that was something that they really worked on incredibly hard, and I think really took a major step forward from where we as a program have been in the past. And but so I appreciate you acknowledging that, because I think it is certainly something that has paid off for us as a program.
In the second overtime, you mentioned just kind of the struggles inbounding and getting the balls up. But what was Maryland doing that was just kind of being so disruptive to kind of cause that?
Yeah, they had
issue?
3 kids up, and then when the ball handler got it, they really committed 2 to 3 kids to that player, and that a couple of times we had that, and we had an opportunity to stretch it and push it up the court and look up the floor, but we took 1 or 2 dribbles and we picked it up, and then we tried to pass it backwards to either the inbounder or someone at that point in time, and so we're back on our heels at that point in time.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.